Welcome. So I came down to the studio yesterday afternoon because it was time to cover up the props. Denial is a river in Africa, and I have left the props uncovered in the studio for almost 7 weeks, expecting somehow that we would soon be back here and we would need them, so there was no point in covering everything up. And as it's become clearer and clearer over time that returning en masse to the studio anytime in the near future is probably unrealistic. And even when we do return, we're not going to want to share props, so we'll want you to bring your own props. So I covered up the props and just felt so sad and aware that I had been in denial and was now kind of looking more realistically at what the situation is and what's happening and what our steps are going forward, which we're working on. And instead of feeling badly about that, I was reflecting on what David White says about denial, that it is necessary in a human life for us to allow ourselves time to deny what's happening until we're ready to step forward into what's presenting itself. And that if we didn't give ourselves that time to be in denial, we would be so utterly bombarded by what is coming at us. So it was really such a beautiful, beautiful way to look at denial, which I've always thought, she's in denial or he's in denial and I'm not in denial, and to be in denial would not be a good thing. So here's what David White writes. Denial is underestimated as a state of being. Denial is an ever-present and even splendid thing when seen in the light of its merciful and elemental powers to cradle and hold an identity until it is ready to move on. Faced with the depth of loss and disappearance in the average life, a measure of denial is creative, necessary, and self-compassionate. So my thoughts on our practice this morning is to cultivate self-compassion and to do more of an inward turning, quieting practice where we give ourselves time to just breathe, be in our bodies, be in the poses, be in the practice, without a big push, without a need to charge forward into the day and whatever life is presenting. So with that in mind, do have a strap and 2 towels or 2 blankets, which we'll use more towards the end of classes. Want you to have everything you need so that you can just settle into your practice. So please take a good seat, a seat that is upright, a seat that is comfortable, and take both hands to your right leg and internally rotate the leg. Roll the inner thigh in, pull the sit bone wide out to the side. And taking your time, do that with the left leg as well. And then see if you can sense where your tailbone is, right in between the 2 sit bones. And that having moved your right leg flesh and your left leg and hip, that it's now equidistant between the 2 sit bones. And that the 2 sit bones are now equally heavy on the floor, on the mat, whatever you're sitting on. And you can allow yourself to sit where you are. Allow your body and your mind and your heart to sit where you are. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. And see if you can soften around the process of your breathing. And that happens when we allow. It happens when we accept. It happens when we sit fully where we are. As you watch your breath and you give attention to it, you may notice that it begins to deepen and it begins to even out, in breath and out breath. Not because you're making it do so, but simply because bringing your attention there creates that for you. The breath is part of our autonomic nervous system. It's one of the functions that our body does automatically. And that being said, it will also partner with us. We can also control it to some degree or dance with it to some degree. Send it an invitation to become deeper and more even. So just as you've evened your two sit bones away from your tailbone, see if you can even out the length of your in-breath and your out-breath. If Ujjayi breathing is in your practice, practice that, because having the auditory feedback of the sound of Ujjayi will also help you balance inhale and exhale, duration, length, strength. Please set an intention for your practice. An intention that centers around self-compassion. That centers around giving yourself a break and time to just be where you are, whether you're fully frontal facing into the facts or you're allowing yourself time for denial. Or you're in denial and you don't even know you're allowing yourself time to be in it, which is where I was, probably still am. Just let yourself be there. And now join your palms together in front of your heart. And we'll chant 3 ohms to begin our practice. Take in a breath. Bowing your head to yourself, to your practice, to life. Honor all of it. And lifting your head, please open your eyes. And we'll begin. I'm going to move back to my mat. If you need to adjust the volume on your device, please do so as I step further back. I'm going to start seated in what we call a Z seat. The right leg is going to fold back, and the left foot goes against the right inner thigh. The right foot is not at a right angle to the shin, but it's pointed straight back, so it goes straight back from your knee through your second toe. And if you find that your right hip is elevated quite a bit, you can put a blanket or a towel under both hips. If your knees are not happy to do this, as I know some of yours aren't, then you just sit in whatever way you need to adjust. So you can either put a block under the knee, you can stretch a leg out. So once you've got established in your seat, we're going to once again manually internally rotate. So take both hands to the right leg, roll the inner thigh in, catch the flesh of your buttock right by your sit bone, and roll the flesh and the bones internally. So you've really broadened the right side way out. And then leaning over to the right, do the same on the left. It's a little harder on the left. Actually, I have to go back to my right again. And taking the hands onto your knees, or if your knees are not handy, then onto the floor. We're going to do some cat-cows here. So as you inhale, arch the back, lift the head, look up. And as you exhale, hunker down and hunker in to yourself. Then breathing in again, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back, press the head back, the palate back, and then exhale again. Round the spine, look into yourself, and just pulse back and forth a few times. Noticing how you rock onto the back of the sit bones and then more onto the front of the sit bones. How your entire pelvis is rocking forward and back. And as you take a few more, focus now more on your breath, so that it's your breath that begins the movement, not movement then breath, but breath first followed by movement. So exhale begins and then the rounding back begins. The inhale begins and you follow that flowing forward and up. So 2 more times. Letting the breath be the lead dance partner, so to speak. And then coming up to a neutral back, feeling both sit bones as heavy as possible equally. Take the right fingers to the floor. Externally rotate the right shoulder so you feel the right shoulder blade strongly on your back. And then inhale, lift up the left arm. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lean over to your right. And as you lean to the right, get heavier into your right sit bone, the right thigh bone. Stretch through the left ribs. And then turn your heart open just a little bit more, looking up under the arm. Keep the right shoulder rolling back. You can step the right hand further out. See where you need to go, need to be. Inhale, bring yourself up and take the left fingertips to the floor. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Lift up the right arm. Roll the left shoulder back. And without lifting up the right thigh, lean over. So the right hip stays just as heavy as the left. One way to do that is to push with your left hand down into the floor so that you push your right hip stronger down. And then turn yourself open and stretch. Good, breathing, come all the way back up to center. And with the left fingertips right behind you, take the right hand to the left knee for a twist. So first roll the inner thighs back and wide, then scoop the tail down. And keeping the spine long, lift up and rotate vertically, looking gently over the left shoulder at what you might be choosing not to look at, and it's time to look at it. Or maybe looking at what it's not time to look at. And there's just a blankness. There's just this moment here, right now. With your next inhalation, untwist. And bring your right hand to your hip, left hand flat to the floor on your left. Push down, lift up onto your shins. So if you're doing a different leg variation, you might want to bend your knees now. And pausing here, bring awareness to your left shoulder, externally rotate it, lift through your heart. And then scoop down through your tailbone and roll the right shoulder back, lean your head back, ears back. And now stretch the arm over your ear, overhead. And from the core of your pelvis, push down into what is. And from the core of your pelvis, reach up and out, leaning back, a little baby back bend, opening your heart to yourself. Exhale, release the hips down, and take a breath. Mindfully move to the second side, folding the right leg in and the left leg straight back. We'll do the right leg. It's called inner spiral. It's a manual internal rotation. So lean forward a little bit, lift up, roll the inner thigh in, pull the sit bone wide, and then do the same thing on your left leg. And heavy into the left hip. If you find that this side, your hip is even higher up, mine is, then put more support underneath your pelvis. Left toes straight back, or doing an alternate variation, hands to your knees and cat-cow. Just rocking back and forth in the pelvis, and as you do so, letting the pelvis roll over the thigh bones, releasing the muscles, the fascia, the tendons, so that in time perhaps you feel the left thigh get heavier. I can hear the rain getting heavier. Maybe where you are too, it's getting heavier. And you can let that kind of downward movement of rain, how the rain pours down and soaks into the soil, be a metaphor for allowing your body to pour down into the earth, to just be as and where you are. Letting the breath be your guide. So breath first, movement second. 2 more. Deep breaths. Then coming to neutral, take left fingertips to the floor. Lift up the right arm, roll the shoulder back, and lean into your left leg and hip. And let the weight of the lean heavy the thigh bone deeper down and settle you into right here, right now, this breath. Deep stretch to the right side body, right shoulder back, head back. And inhale, bring yourself up, fingertips to the floor on the right, lift up the left arm, and sitting heavy into the left hip, lean over to the right. Shoulders back, ears tip back. With the next inhale, bring yourself back upright, fingertips on the floor. And left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you for the twist. And as soon as we twist, the left hip likes to lift up and move forward. So see if you can let it just be where it is. So lift the spine up, not the hip, and twist vertically with your breath. Initiating from the back left side of the body, around and up. A gentle gaze over your right shoulder. Each time you exhale, sit heavier into your hips. And with the next inhalation, untwist. And place the left hand on the hip, right hand strongly on the floor, pressing through all 4 corners of the hand and all 5 fingers. Lift up onto your shins. And then externally rotate both shoulders so the chest lifts, the shoulder blades draw forward into the heart, the ears go back. Root your tailbone, then extend the left arm over the ear. And press down into your legs and shins and up and out through your rest of your body. 1 more breath. Exhaling, release all the way down. Leaving the right leg folded in, extend the left leg out to the side. Fold the right foot in a little bit more firmly. And taking your fingertips on the floor behind you, kind of scoot forward just 1/2 inch so you're more towards the front edge of your sit bones and the pelvis is tilting forward. If you feel like your legs got rolled out as you move, then you can once again internally rotate, fingertips to the floor, breathe in, and exhale, fold forward. Keep both hips on the ground, both sit bones steady. Be where you are. Allow yourself time. Allow yourself space. And the next inhale, bring yourself up and taking the left hand to the right knee, lift up the right arm and lean to the left. Just holding yourself by your knee, stretching out and over. A little bit of a deeper side bend. Inhale, bring yourself up, untwist, switch the legs. We don't usually start with so much sitting, but in lieu of, or in honor of rather, what we're focusing on this morning, we're going to do more quiet seated poses today. Fingertips on the floor, spine up, tailbone down, and hinge forward, keeping the right buttock heavy. The right toes and the right kneecap facing up. As the tailbone goes down, lift the rest of the spine up and bring your heart forward into whatever it is you're meeting today in yourself. For the heart to go forward, the shoulders need to go back. Inhaling, come up, right hand to the left knee, left arm to the sky, and exhale, lean to the right. Deep side stretch. Breathing and bring yourself back up. And we're going to come to child's pose. So make your way onto your mat. Any form of child's pose that works for your knees and hips, including lying flat out on your belly if your knees do not want to do any kind of flexion. Settle yourself down and in. Bowing to what is, and bowing to how you are in relationship to it. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like. If you're feeling low today, if you're feeling angry today, if you're feeling peaceful today. So however you are feeling in relationship to your day, bow to that. Breathe in self-acceptance. And the next time you inhale, come up, setting up for down face dog. Curl the toes under. And heavy into both hands, firmly and strongly. Soften the shoulder blades more firmly onto your back. And as you're ready, lift the knees and hips up to downward facing dog. Taking a full stretch from your heart down into your hands, a stretch and an offering from your heart, compassion to yourself for where you are today. And then alternately bend and straighten the legs, stretching out the calves, the hamstrings. And then extending both legs straight. Step your feet as wide apart as your mat, so the pinky toes are on the edges. And with your hands, grasp the edges of your sticky mat. And with your hands, push the mat forward. Press your chest back towards your thighs. Widen the inner thighs back, and then root your tailbone down. Take a full breath. And as you continue to pull forward with your hands, spin your right heel to your left, so it's in towards the middle of your mat. You're just pivoting on the toes and bending the left knee. Stretch up through the right hip. And pivot the right heel back to neutral. Spin the left heel into the right. Bend the right knee and lift up strongly through the right hip, the left hip. Bring the legs back to center. Replace your hands for dog pose. Step the feet closer in for dog pose. And take one more breath. Step the right foot forward, lunge. Lower the left knee, and you can put a blanket under the knee or pat it in any way you need to. Pull the legs in towards each other, firming in, and inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, stretching up. From your pelvis, press down into the legs, and from the pelvis, lift up and curve and arc, up and around, opening yourself up. Lift up through your thumbs, stretching through the back body. Bring the hands to your heart, and twist. Left elbow over the right knee. Rolling the shoulders back, turn the gaze and look up. Keep the legs strong and pulling in towards each other. Take another breath here. And then as you inhale, untwist. Place the hands down on the floor. Step back, down face dog. And either hold here or move through a vinyasa. Ilana, you're going to hold. Anybody else working with a shoulder injury? Hold. And coming back to dog pose, take a breath, close your eyes, turn awareness inside, and feel the pose where you're grounded, where you're rising, and then imagining your body as just a hollow, fill it with breath. While your lungs fill in your torso, the energy of the breath, the prana, moves through the entire body. So as you breathe in, take it in, fill yourself up. And as you breathe out, extend it out all the way, not only through your nostrils, but through your feet, through your hands. With your next inhale, step your left foot forward, lunge. Come to fingertips, and just steady yourself. Find the basic shape of the pose, and then refine it with your breath. Lower the back knee, and as you're ready, lift the arms to the sky. Pull up more through the thumbs, so you extend through the back body, the lower back and the mid-back fill up, and then lunge more deeply, pressing sweetly back, opening yourself to the time you need to be here today with yourself. Bringing the hands into your heart. Twist, hooking the elbow over the knee. Pressing the thumbs more to the center of the heart. Shoulders back. And perhaps bending the left knee a little bit more as you lean your head back. Deep, full breath. With your next exhalation, release the twist. Place the hands. Dog pose. And either rest here or move through vinyasa or come to child's pose and rest. Ardha Hanumanasana, step the right foot forward, left knee to the floor, left hip right over the left knee and right foot extended. Put blocks under the hands if that supports you. And without using your hands, do that same internal rotation on your right leg. Tone the muscles, roll the inner thigh and the sit bone wide out to the right. And then scoop the right hip under, lift the low belly up, and spill yourself forward over your right leg. Breathe, and again, right low belly up. Exhale, bend the elbows and fold. Inhale, let the breath lift you, open you. Exhale and fold. And one more time, again, widen to the right. And exhale, scoop into the midline with the hip and fold. Step the right leg back and the left leg forward. Make sure that the right foot is pointing straight out from the knee and the left foot is forward. Square the pelvis and internally rotate. So the hip will lift up. Try not to let the foot turn to the left, to the right rather, and then scoop the left hip under, lift the belly up, breathe in, stretch your spine long, and exhale, fold. Inhale again, widen to the right, to the left, and then pull into the right and fold. And then a few more breaths, just letting the breath lift and guide you in the pose. No hurry. Just time to be present with yourself. For the last one, again, internally rotate, inner thigh wide. Externally rotate, belly up and fold. Step the left foot back, come to the knees, down face dog, place the hands, press up, full stretch, and perhaps a vinyasa. Forward left knee down again, lizard lunge. Open the right knee out to the right. And taking the right hand, internally rotate the right thigh. And then scoop the hip under as you extend out through the knee and perhaps come down onto the elbows. Or put the elbows on blocks or stay up on your hands. And take awareness into your right hip. And send breath, the energy of the breath, the energy of prana, there into the hip, into whatever feels tight. Walk your elbows to your left. Keep the knee moving to the right. Try not to swing the hips to the left. Keep them in the line of your mat. Just move the elbows. And as you bear weight on your left elbow, stretch your right arm out so that you're stretching from your right hip out to the whole side of the body. Deep, full breath in and out. Good. Walk the hands back in. Replace the foot. Down face dog. Lift up, press back. And inhale, step the left foot forward, lunge, right knee down. Lizard lunge. So open the left knee to the side. Place the forearms down on the floor. And then internally rotate. So take your left hand to your inner thigh and roll it in and wide and back. Then scoop the flesh of the buttock under and extend out through the knee. Send prana, send vital force through your body with your breath. Allow whatever stretch you feel in your left hip to be there. Now walk the elbows to the right. Try not to move the whole body to the right, just the elbows. And then extend the left arm to the right so you get more extension through the left side of the body. Keep pressing the left knee left as the left hand goes right. One more breath. And exhale, release, bring the hands back, dog pose. Plank pose. Exhale, bend the elbows, chaturanga, and coming all the way down to the belly. Reach behind your back and lace the fingers. Roll the shoulders up and back. And we're going to pulse up and down with the breath. As you inhale, lift the hands, the head, the legs. And as you exhale, lower everything down. The hands to the hips, head to the floor, feet to the floor. And then with the inhale, rise up again. And do this a few more times, paying careful attention to the fact that you're going to follow your breath. So let the rhythm of your breath determine how you do the pose, when you go up, when you go down. And the next time you go up, hold for 3 breaths. Hold on the up, but breathing. And notice if with each breath the pose maybe deepens. After the 3rd breath, release the hands, lower the head, rest on one cheek. And folding your right hand under your head, so you're making a pillow with your hand. Step the legs towards each other, bend up the left leg, catch the foot for a thigh stretch. Just a gentle Bakasana with the head down. Press the left knee down and puff into the back waist. Turn the energetic body a little bit more to the right. and then exhale and release the left foot. Make a pillow with your left hand. Step the knees towards each other, bend at the right leg, catching the foot, stretch the thigh. Pressing the knee down and the tailbone down. Get long in the side body. Take one more breath in, and then as you exhale, release. Child's pose. Lift up and press back. Whatever form of child's pose serves you. And as you pause here, make space for yourself to be how you are today. To really feel whatever it is you're feeling today. To accept where you are, rather than where you think you should be. And walking your hands in, bring yourself up to sit. We're going to roll on the right hip to release the muscles there. So you're going to lift up your right foot. The left leg can be however you want for it to be supportive for you. So any position. I'm going to stretch mine out. And holding the right foot with the left hand, flex the foot so that the ankle and the knee are in one line. And then supporting yourself on your right hand, you're going to roll all around on your right butt cheek. You can even come down to the elbow. It depends on where you feel, not pain, but sensation. Where there is a tightness. Just roll around a little bit. And when you find a particularly poignant spot, pause there and do little micro movements. And as you inhale, bring yourself back up. Stretch out your left leg if it's not. And place the right foot down right against the inner left thigh. Sit up really tall and hook elbow over knee, or you can also wrap. But there's a sense of pulling in, of connecting closely to yourself. So lifting up, heavy into both sit bones, roll the right shoulder back, and take a vertical twist. So you go around and up, rather than leaning off to the right, around and up. Deep, full breath. And with the next inhale, untwist. Keep the leg position. But take the right arm on the inside of the leg and reach for your left foot. Now you have a strap, so if you want to hold the strap, you can put a strap around the foot. Alternately, you can hold the foot. And the right knee is pulling into the midline. So you're not letting it wing out to the side, but you're hugging it in. And then send breath through the body. It's okay if your right buttock is slightly lifted, but if you can, sit it all the way down. If you'd like to proceed into a more challenging variation of this pose, you can wrap the right arm around the knee, the left hand behind the back, and clasp. Still doing a forward bend over the right leg. Otherwise, continue to hold your foot or your shin or the strap. And then just settle for the breath with the breath. Settle into the pose. If you're clasped, unclasp your knee and sit yourself up and let the knee drop out to the side. So right knee is out to the side. Pull it to more of an obtuse angle, so it goes a little further back behind you if that's available, and your knee will do that. Martha, I know you're modifying, it's fine. Inhale, lift the spine up, and exhale, fold again over the left leg, or use your strap around your foot. And either way, a deep forward bend, Anusara. You may find that your torso is turned slightly to the right. With your next breath, begin to inflate the left side and begin to make a turn so that you're more flat out over your left leg, but you're doing it from the inside rather than pulling from the outside. It's more of a subtle, deeper turning. With your next inhalation, bring yourself back up and extend the two legs straight ahead, Dandasana, staff pose. With both hands, internally rotate right leg, internally rotate left leg. Feel balance between the two sit bones and the tailbone in the middle. Hands to the heart. If the back is finding this challenging, keep your hands on the floor. Blankets under the hips, always helpful. Full breath in and out. Lace the hands, stretch the palms to the sky, or keep your hands lower or on the floor. Reach in every direction, spreading yourself out into your life as it is today. One more breath. Exhale, release. Bend up the left leg and step it in close. So the foot's close to the right leg and it's close to its own hip. Take the left hand behind and either hook the right elbow or wrap around the knee. Breathe in, lift the spine up, and begin the twist from the bottom right side of your back. So don't pull with the left side, rather an invitation from the right side, around and up, gazing over the shoulder. Awareness still in your right leg. It's strong, it's steady, keeping you grounded. Work with your breath to deepen the twist. Not by forcing, but just the sweet invitation of the exhale offering a release that may allow you a little bit more room to maneuver around. As you inhale, untwist, and bring your left arm on the inside of the left leg, reaching for your right foot, or for the strap around the foot. Right hand holds the foot as well, or the strap, or you hold your shin, and the left knee hugs in. See if you can sit down into the left hip. Breathe in and lengthen the spine out over the leg. Exhale and fold. A few more breaths. If you want to take the bind, wrap the left arm around the front of the shin, hold the right hand behind the back, continuing to bend forward. So this is not a twist, it's a forward bend. Just keep going straight ahead, out over the right leg. Keeping the shoulders lifting, shoulder blades flat on the back. With your next inhale, release whatever you're holding, come up and open the left knee to the left, moving the knee further back and putting the top of your foot on the floor rather than the edge of the foot, if possible. Turn the torso to face along the line of the right leg. Lift the spine up, breathe in, and exhale, fold forward. You can also use a strap. You can hold your foot, you can hold your shin. I like to take my left hand across to the pinky side of my right foot and then puff up into the right waist. Turning the inner body more to the right and then extending further forward out along the leg. And the next inhalation, bring yourself back up. Stretch out the left leg. Manually internally rotate. Paschimottanasana. Knees and toes facing straight up. Lift up through your spine. Get as long in the torso as you can. Make that a big inhalation. And then exhale, slide the hands to the outside edges of the feet. Or again, use a strap. Hold the strap. And broadening your shoulders, lift the elbows out to the sides, pull the shoulder blades onto the back, and draw your heart forward. And then let the head bow and release. Closing your eyes, work with your breath. Send the awareness of breath through your whole body. Inhaling, rise all the way back up. So we're gonna, it's more likely that you'll need a strap for the next pose, Kraunchasana. The right leg will fold back into the Z seats, but with the knee straight ahead. Alternate poses, alternate variations for this position is back to Anusara, or to keep the leg extended straight out. Any of the above will work. So I'm going to fold mine back, and we bend in the left leg. Strap around the sole of the foot, right at the ball mound, and extend the leg up. If you can easily hold your foot, then you'll hold your foot. From here, we're going to lean over, bend the knee, and widen it out to the side. And then we're going to inhale and stretch it up. And we're going to pulse in that way a few times. So exhale, bend the knee, draw the big toe towards your heart, sit your heart up tall. And then exhale, keep the length of your spine as you stretch, either holding foot or holding strap. Bend again, and again extend. Internally rotate, externally rotate. And then end with the internal rotation, the legs straight. Take your right hand across and hold the outer edge of the foot or hold the straps in the right hand. Take the left fingertips behind you and use them to help you sit up tall. Pull the leg up a little higher, sit the spine up a little taller. Make sure the leg doesn't swing across to the right, but it stays straight out from the left hip. Keep your hand behind you for support, or lift the hand up and stretch it straight back behind you and turn your gaze and twist, looking over the left fingertips. Bending the right elbow, lift the left leg a little higher, lift your spine a little higher, take one more breath in. And then exhale, bring your left hand back, cross it so your wrists are crossed and you're holding the strap or you're holding your foot. Bend at the elbows and draw the leg towards your spine, towards your body, your torso towards your leg. Deep breath in, and then exhale, bend the knee, and release both legs. Well done. Second side. Fold back the left leg if that's available, or take any other position. Internally rotate, and then bend up the leg and hold it, either with a strap or your hands. Stretch it up. Bend it, hip stretch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hip stretch. Spine tall. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hip stretch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hip stretch, externally rotate, and then we'll end with the internal rotation. Stretch the leg up. Spine tall. Draw the leg in towards you any amount. And then cross left hand to the outside edge of the right foot. And take the right hand on the floor and sit yourself up really tall. So get the spine as upright as you can, as elongated as you can. Use your in-breath to create that lift and length. And then twist to your right, and perhaps extend the right arm straight back. Everything extending and lifting, and at the same time drawing in. Honoring who you are, honoring where you are in your process today. And then cross right wrist over left, holding either straps or foot. Then the elbows out to the side. Draw your leg in even higher, your spine up even taller, almost leaning forward towards the front of your sit bones. Deep breath in, and then exhale and release. Release the left leg. And please find your 2 towels or blankets. One, you're going to open, I have a bath towel, and just roll in a nice long roll. The second is going to stay folded in a square, or maybe it opens up once. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the soles of the feet together in Bathrobe. You can just watch and then I'll talk you through it. The heels in as close as you can. If your knees aren't happy, then the heels are further out. The towel goes on the top of the feet and then tucks under the ankles to give support to the ankles so that the knees are not just releasing towards the floor. They've got a little bit of lift. The towel's under the ankles or under the shins. And then we lie down. And the second blanket goes just on the belly. Just a little bit of weight on the belly, on the torso. It's very soothing. So take a moment. If you want more support under your knees, you can take blocks under the knees, or you can take extra blankets under the knees. And rest your palms face up, a little bit away from your body. And snuggle your shoulder blades flat underneath you. And close your eyes. Unhinge your jaw. Slightly separate your teeth. Swallow and release the root of your tongue. Bring your awareness to your breath. And take these few minutes to rest, to restore, to allow yourself to be. To accept that denial is sometimes a gift that we give ourselves. It's not a bad thing. It's a gift. It's a good thing. Let yourself be wherever you are. Breathe into the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. And breathe out first from the chest, and then the ribs, and then the belly. Breathe in, allowing yourself to be filled. belly, ribs, chest. And exhaling, breathe out, chest, ribs, belly. A few more breaths like that. Filling yourself with peace, with acceptance. Breathing out the need to be different than you are, or in a different place than you are, or in a different orientation than you are. Feel yourself grounding. Allowing the breath to return to normal. Now pull the knees together and step the feet over the roll. And slide the legs out straight, adjusting the roll so it's just supporting the back of the knees or the back of the thighs. Or Shavasana. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Bring awareness into your body, into your breath. Begin to deepen your breath. Sweetly begin to move fingers and toes, waking up your body. Bend your knees and curl over to your right side. And as you're ready, come up to sit. Denial is an ever-present and even splendid thing when seen in the light of its merciful and elemental powers to cradle and hold an identity until it is ready to move on. If you are being cradled and held by denial, know that perhaps that's where you need to be right now. And when you're ready to move on, you'll look around and you'll take the next steps. Joining your palms together in front of your heart. Bow your head and honor denial. Honor yourself wherever you are. Honor your practice. Honor one another. I honor all of my teachers, and I honor each and every one of you for practicing this morning together. Together we cultivate strength, we cultivate courage, we support, and we help each other. Let's chant one Om, sending that Om out to this world and to one another. Take a deep breath in. Namaste. Have a great day.